So we got to take a few minutes and give a little love to the fellas. What am I talking about, guys? Well, it's not maybe the most popular topic or one that we want to talk about openly, but let's talk a little bit about ED. I can speak to this both firsthand as a patient of that problem, as well as a practitioner that has provided resolution to the problem. In my personal journey, I was a very heavy steroid user in my younger days. In my 20s, I did things like fitness modeling and bodybuilding and went through a huge use of steroids over the years. When I stopped these things cold turkey, one of the unfortunate symptoms that I suffered from was a complete lack of sex drive and an inability to hold or maintain an erection. So obviously this put me in a state of needing to do some research and understanding of what's changed in my body and why this has happened. And I have found this scenario of ED to be in the arena of one of two or both problems, such as, one, is it's a cardiovascular issue. A lot of times people are totally unaware of that, but that is in fact why something like Viagra works for people, because it's going to increase blood flow to the area. So when I sit down with a patient and I have a conversation with them, it starts with, is it a performance issue or is it a desire issue? And that just gives me a little bit of data to understand, is it cardiovascular, or if it's desire, it's hormonal. So this gives me some ideas as to what this patient's body might be requiring. But if it's solely from the standpoint of, Jimmy, I love my wife or my girlfriend and, I really want to, and bleh, that tells me it's a performance problem. It's an amazing thing that you can correct by giving some support cardiovascular wise to help ensure that blood flow makes it out to the extremities. If the conversation starts with, Jimmy, I have no problem. Sometimes I wake up and, I got one and, I want, but other times it's just like, I'm uninterested. I have no desire. That tells me more about their hormones. So now this opens up a whole slew of potential issues. This could be a thyroid problem. This could be a pituitary problem. This could be a testicular problem. It could be an adrenal problem. Not one clear-cut, decisive answer for it if it's hormonal, because it could be any one of those synergistic organs that represent a deficiency that's causing this hormonal teeter-totter to where your sex hormones are. But we at Synergy Nutrition and Wellness have seen great successes, both personally as well professionally with our patients, in handling one of those two or both of those areas, such as cardiovascular improvements as well as hormonal balancing.